Hello, hello, if anybody's there. Let's see. I deeply apologize for being late if you are watching live. Um, I am trying to get this set up. I'm going to share some stuff with you real quick before we get into this moon reading. Um, it has been a crazy, crazy 10 days, put it that way. So, for those of you that are just tuning in, welcome. You're seeing me in my leather shop because my house is disarrayed. I am getting new carpet. They were supposed to put it in within like a day or two, and it's not. So, my office is completely a mess. Really quick before we get into this moon, and the full moon is really kicking in, isn't it? It literally is. Um, we are in the full moon starting tomorrow, which is the 20th. And we are going to be in a lot of different energies. There's a lot of good things happening with this full moon, but there's also, whenever you have positives, there's always a negative. It's a yin and yang kind of a thing. So I'll go into that. And a lot of it isn't the moon per se, it's the planets that are happening around it. But before that, I want to give an announcement. I'm going to make another video that is going to have a separate announcement because I usually do my videos live, right? And that's for most everybody. I do all your signs live. I do 3 readings a day live for 4 days a week. Unfortunately, now I have a daytime job, so I'm not going to be able to do that. And that's starting today, the 19th. Boy, I look pale with these lights out here, don't I? Wow, I'm a ghost. So the thing is that with this new job, I'm going to have to do a lot of them via uploads. But please continue to make your comments. Please continue to email me all your concerns, your questions, anything like that. Because on my days off, I'm going to come on live, whether it's being doing a collective or a new moon or a full moon reading. I'm still going to be doing lives as much as I can until we get to the 1,000 subscribers. That's the other announcement, guys. I can't go live via mobile unless I have 1,000 subscribers. So help me get there so that I can be anywhere in the world to give you live readings or come on live in an instant for a reading if I get the download to do so. I cannot do that until I hit 1,000 subscribers. Don't ask me why, but that's what the rules of YouTube are. I tried to find out because I tried to do a live while I was in Oklahoma and I couldn't. So I did the upload from Oklahoma. If you haven't watched that video, go ahead. But definitely, please, I apologize. I can't do the readings live all the time, but I am going to continue to do my best to do them live as much as I can because now I have a full-time job. I'm in back into management again. The leather work just didn't pull enough income yet for me to do that full time. So let's get started with the full moon. So share that with your people, share it with the community that, if you know people here, definitely share that with your friends, share it, share it, share it. Also get those 1,000 subscribers so I can do readings anywhere in the United States. Okay. Cause I do travel sometimes. All right. So let's get to the full moon. Big full moon. This is a harvest full moon, right? And then what I'll do for the people that are new, I do talk about it in astrology first. Then I'll go to a reading really, really quick, do a reading, and we'll get from there. I got lots of time this morning. I don't start work until the afternoon. What a day to start work on your birthday, right? Hey, it's okay. My daughter's still in Oklahoma, so I have nothing planned. So let's go. Full moon. It's opposing the sun. Okay. And we're also full moon in Pisces. This is called the harvest moon. So when you look at the moon tomorrow, it's on the 20th. The full moon is on the 20th. And I live on the Pacific coast in the United States. So it's going to be at about 4:54 in the evening, early evening. And you'll be able to see that full moon. Now, the full moon's energies are going to last for about 3 days. They have already started, but it's not the full moon that's creating this havoc in the energies. Because the full moon is in Pisces, this is going to be a really emotional time. This is going to be a time where you want to share. This is a if somebody maybe is going to want to get a little bit vulnerable, and let them be that way, because this is something that we need to do to allow them to do that, to dig in deep to themselves, to dig deep into what's going on with them, because we have to really look at what's happening at us right now, and I'll explain that later, because a lot of people want to shoot and look forward, but there's a reason why the astrologers are saying don't look so far forward. Pay attention to what's at your plate right now, because this energy is going to last us through the end of the year, and things are not is going to be as smooth as we think they are in transitioning. All right. So remember that. The thing is that we, sort of we get affected is for the Pisces, we're going to get affected a little bit more of the negativity. You're going to be noticing it a little bit more. You're just going to be like, well, why are they that way? Why is it? But it's also happening in the world right now the way it is. So you really have to look at that a little bit. And the on the opposite side of the Pisces is they're extremely creative. Okay, this is a time to let those creative juices during this full moon and the next 2 weeks through the rest of September, get those creative juices flowing. If you're thinking about doing something, or all of a sudden you have a sort of like, I really want to do this, get those good, positive, creative juices going, because you need that positive energy through the next couple of weeks. Really push the positive energy. That is going to be really, really helpful to you. When the moon is opposing the sun, we're looking at more of family. We're looking more at home. We're especially in Pisces. Now I'm talking in Pisces. We're looking at relationships. We're looking at getting a sharper focus on everything that's going on within those relationships. Okay. And this is a hard time because we sometimes tend to focus in on the negative part of the relationships, whether it be your family, your friends, a lover, whatever it is. We want to focus in on that. Again, that's the emotional side of Pisces. And so we don't want to really focus in on that. Because there's going to create conflict, because we got Mercury in here too, and I'll explain what's going on with Mercury. But the thing is that we want to really look at what is happening in our relationships, and what positive things. Remember, we got to stay positive, guys. It's going to be really hard because it's going to be a really conflicting time where you want to sort of bicker and fight and that kind of a thing. You got to turn it around and stay at the positives, because we've got Pisces, but then we have Mercury and Jupiter happening going on here. All right. So on the full moon, definitely. I'm just looking at my notes because I've been so swamped and busy. Yeah, and the thing is with the creative side of Pisces and the moon, full moon, is we want to be ourselves. As I talk to you guys either in the readings or in the coaching, we definitely want to be ourselves, our creative side, our fluent, our affluences of what we want to do, where we want to go, what we want to see, what we want to touch, what we want to learn, those kind of things. They have to be more of our authentic self. Because a lot of times people out there are faking it, and they're being somebody who their parents trained them to be. I say trained because our brain is a instrument to be trained or untrained. Okay. Some people call it brainwashing. But the thing is that we want to create this person that we were meant to be on this earth for our personal purpose and journey. Don't care if you're in a family member. Each family member has their own purpose and their own journey. It's not the same, even if you're twins. You guys have your own purpose and your own journeys. It's not that, oh, well, you're going to do that, I'm going to follow you. No, that's not the whole way and journey of life. So that's the creative part. That's the positive part of this new full, not this new moon, the full moon. Okay. The negative part of this full moon is that we have had all these bottled up feelings, bottled up energies. We haven't shared them. We haven't talked about them. This isn't really the way the Pisces works, but the Pisces really wants to release and share and talk. This is an emotional time. This is time to let it out. Pretty much. Okay. So it is going to push you to the point where that it is very much needed to release these negative energies, to get that unbottled feeling out, to release this. Okay. We're also with this full moon. This is a peak. Whenever you have a full moon, you're at a peak of a cycle. So you're at the top of a cycle. Okay. We always look at the full moon energies more than we do the new moon, but the new moon energies are just as important. So, what we want to do is we want to really, with the full moon, we want to resolve unresolved feelings. We want to resolve unresolved situations that are creating negative, low vibrational energies. Okay. So we really want to look for all the truth in something in this full moon. We want to pay attention to what's going on in this full moon. We want to really dig deep and say, you know what, it's time to get to the bottom of this, and that's to our emotions and our feelings, because we want to release those negative low vibrational feelings and emotions and bring those to a high vibration, positive, joyful self. Not a happy, but a joyful. There's very different between joyful and positive. All right. So I was thinking about doing readings for each different situation with these planets, but I think I'm going to hold off until the end to do a full reading, because each of these, okay, Mercury is really involved in, okay, so what's happening during today and also through the 22nd. I think it's on the 22nd that Mercury trines Jupiter. Okay, but right now we have also Mercury squaring Pluto, and we have Jupiter sextiling Pluto. So we have Pluto in here, we have Mercury and Jupiter. Okay, so these are going to create some really interesting energies, should I say. So what I'm going to do really, really quick, because I don't want to confuse you guys, and it is, astrology is still, I'm still learning a lot about astrology. I love learning a little bit by a little bit by a little bit. But what I mainly do in my situation is I look at the energies of what's happening. I mean, these astrologers will go into sextiles and trines and squares and half squares and all this kind of stuff. But I'm sitting there trying to listen to what's going on with the energies of these planets, because that's what affects us. It's sort of like the tide. The tide comes and goes, comes and goes. And even though it doesn't affect us, the energies of the moon do. So sorry, my nail's starting to rip here. So I'm like, I need to trim them. Anyway, so we have let's gonna go ahead and start out with Mercury and Pluto. So it's Mercury squares with Pluto, and that is more of a deep thinking kind of, it's an intense reaction, because Mercury is about communication. And so Pluto likes to sort of counterdict that a little bit. So we really want to dig into what is happening. So during these next couple of weeks, it's like you'll want to dig into something a little bit more deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay. And you're going to wonder why you're wanting to do that. It's just part of the planetary energies. You want to get to the truth, basically, is what it is what you're trying to figure out. Because we've got Mercury moving into a retrograde on the 26th. So when we have Mercury trining Jupiter here at the same time, we try to stay positive. We try to stay in the optimistic. We It's a really, really good time to, because we've got Jupiter is more of a socializing kind of a planet. I hope I don't need water and have to run off, because I have had a cold since I got back from Oklahoma and I forgot to bring water out here. Anyway, um, very socializing. It's a good time to meet up with new people, make new friends, maybe go socialize, maybe go out to eat, go make some plans, go anything into that. So, sorry. Oh, yeah, no problem. Thank you, Felix. I'm glad it's on. Trust me, this is a brand new computer. My computer died, and I'm trying this whole new thing out, and it hasn't been cooperative. So thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you, thank you. And thank you for the Facebook wishes too. By the way, if you don't have Divine Warrior Intuitive on your Facebook or Patty Hall, you can go there, and I'm there as well. But let's get back. So there's also with this, Pluto has a lot to do with travel. So you might be traveling. It might be long distance traveling. I don't know what it is for you, but somebody's going to be traveling out there. That's sort of very obvious for some people, right? Because it's somebody's going to be traveling out there. But however, this is a time during these next 2 weeks where people might be again researching to travel, moving to travel, definitely thinking about traveling. This is a really good time, again, because of Mercury as our communication planet, to really stay open minded about new things. This is a time where we do not want to have any conflict, which we can. It's very, very possible to have conflict with the energies of Mercury and Pluto. So let's stay open minded, be flexible, a little bit to maybe looking at somebody else's perspective or digging in or doing some research ourselves for things to happen. I'm going to start coughing. I know it. Sorry. This is also a time where we are looking at if you're interested in subject matters like law, philosophy, psychology, things of the mind, those kind of things, even into a spiritual relationship. Some people say religion. I don't like that word at all. But if you're looking at a relationship with some, spiritual, I have to say, I had to back up, and I didn't put this in the announcements, but this last 10 days has not only been challenging, and this is the energies coming in for this full moon, but it's also the retrograde coming, and also some awakening, spiritual awakenings for some of you. There's going to be a lot of spiritual awakenings or things happening that don't make sense. That it's like we had somebody watching our house, and he's very superstitious because he's from another country. And he's like, you have a ghost in the house, which I know I have a spirit trying to attach themselves to my daughter. So I have been cleansing the house every day while she's gone. But that door opened and closed and scared the living heebie jeebies out of him. So there is going to be a lot of things that you might be like, wow, that was sort of interesting. What happened there or whatever. But so be really, really open to seeing what that is. Your third eye chakra might want to open, your crown chakra might want to open. Be really, really careful because, again, these are energies. These are entities of positive or negative or high or low vibrational God, if you want to call devil, Satan, or demons, whatever you want to call them, trying to come in. We really, really be mindful to keep it in the light and love and God. And even if you believe in Jesus Christ, keep him at your side because it's happening. It's happening. So anyway, definitely want to make sure that you are building a relationship with God or divine, whatever you want to call it. I will be really careful from my readings forward on because I am getting more entities in here that I do not want. And it's because I believe the way that I am doing my reading. So I will be using God and divine only and allowing him to only send messages because I'm getting in entities I do not want in my home. So, with that said, definitely the deep thinking and the intense interaction's been going on lately. And that's probably why my computer tried to, well, we went through TSA through the airport and it stopped working. And I couldn't do readings in Oklahoma. There's a lot of powers right now fighting against me from actually talking about God and divine and the readings. And I won't do that. I will not stop talking about God, divine, and the high vibrations, light and love and absolute truth. I won't do that. So, anyway, so let's get back to this. So yeah, so between Mercury squaring with Pluto and Mercury having an exact trine with Jupiter, we're looking at very positive energies, very creative energies, juices flowing, things wanting to learn, things wanting to move forward. But again, we got to put the brakes on and look at the now, not so far out in the future. Okay. Jupiter sextiles on the same time, same day, guys. This is all happening the same day except Mercury and trining Jupiter is definitely happening the 22nd. Okay, thank you. So what so I'm also being reminded of is there's things that we really don't want to be able to. We're going to go through or meet somebody or we're going to be talking to somebody and we really don't want to talk about a subject matter. But step back and ask yourself why, because we're saying that it may be really hard to talk about, but it's actually going to catapult you into something positive or a better relationship or a better bonding. So make sure that it's okay. Calm yourself. I need water. Calm yourself and then definitely um, get yourself at a peaceful, and then share that information, because when we become vulnerable to somebody, it might help somebody, because we are in a position that they might be scared and they may feel alone too. But when we share something, or something's uncomfortable, share, because maybe you're pissed off about something and you're just trying to hold it in. Remember, I talked about that bottled feeling, that bottled up feeling kind of a thing, and emotions and stuff. This is a time to let them out. And it may be uncomfortable and you may not want to, but this is a good time to do that. All right. Because it's going to create what is happening with the next thing is Jupiter sextiles with Pluto. It's going to create a transformation. It's going to build a transformation, and it's going to intensify. And it's also not only going to give you more spiritual growth, because this is Jupiter. It's working with Mercury and Pluto. It's sort of like they're accompanying each other and helping each other. But the thing is that you're transforming your personal growth. You're growing yourself. You're moving to that next level. You're getting a higher vibration. You're getting a higher level. You're bringing yourself up. Okay. Really, really important with that. All right. Now, the full moon tomorrow, who's it going to affect mostly? I hate to tell you, but Cancers, you're going to be at it, because you guys are emotional beings. And so Pisces, and so really try to stay on your positive side. Cancers, it's really hard, I know, but Pisces is also emotional, but you guys really need to work on the positive side, because I know you guys are more pessimistic. I hate to say that, but I've got a Cancer in my house, and she's already started today. I was like, and she's in Oklahoma. But anyway, all right. So, for now, these energies are going to go for the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to tell you right now, watching the astrologers that I listen to and learn from, um, all these energies about thinking in the now, right now, is going to last through the end of the year, because things are going to be so wishy-washy and up and down and changing from day to day, week to week, as we see with like all the COVID and the vaccines and all the stuff that's going on. It's going to be changing all the time. So don't focus on something being set in stone. Like some people are saying, well, after January, we can start traveling to maybe Asia. You don't know that yet. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So just focus in on the now. I don't even care if they're psychic and they say that they know what's happened. I'm sorry, psychics out there, but they don't. They're not God. They are not divine. So they don't, because that's just the way the life is. Let me tell you. Okay. So, but the thing is, we really want to be careful, because I'm just going to go really quick what's going to happen through the rest of the month, because we are focusing in on ourselves. We're focusing in on communication. We're focusing in on talking about something that we really aren't comfortable to talk about. What we're going to get it out and talk about it. We're going to look at the creative sides of everything that we have in our being, to grow and be positive and lift those up and grow those, to get a better relationship and self-growth, transform to something, right? Okay, so on the 23rd, Mars is moving into a trine with Saturn. What does that mean? It means things are going to become more organizational. So after this full moon energy comes, things are going to start to get organized a little bit. You're going to start planning and getting something, it's like if you're, I don't knit, but if you wanted to knit, okay, well, I just have to go get the yarn. Got to make sure that I have my needles. I got to have a pattern. So, okay, and then I can go ahead and start knitting. It's sort of like that. The organizational will start happening. In the intellectual part, if it's not a project, it's something you're thinking about, you're going to start thinking about the intellectual part of that project or job or relationship. You're going to think, okay, where do I want to go with this relationship? Where do I want to move with this person? Do I want to move with this person? And I don't mean move in, I mean go forward. Okay. So, but the end of September is the time where it is a perfect time to get into something new, whether it be a project, a relationship, a new job. I start one today. So, this is the time to really get into that. All right. Because what's going to happen, so from the 23rd to the 26th, this is a really good time to get all your ducks in a row and your eggs in your basket or whatever you want to call it. Because on the 26th, guys, Mercury goes into retrograde. We hate that. What happens for those of you that are new? Mercury, the planet, when it goes into retrograde, it slows down to almost a stop. It doesn't even hardly move at all. What happens when that happens? It becomes very powerful. So the energies for that planet, which is usually Mercury, and it's communication. That's what Mercury is really good at, is communication or messing things up, especially like your computers, your telephones, technology, intermixing with the frequencies and vibrations out there in space and messing things up, or hacking and all that kind of stuff. That's what happens on the 26th. So it gets to be a really frustrating time, but it is time to really pull that energy into focus. So as we try to get distracted from the 26th to the end, we're going to try to get distracted by the low vibrations, the low frequencies, the devil, Satan, whatever you want to call them. But the thing is, they're going to be taken off course. You're going to be trying to take off course. You don't want to do that. You just want to stay focused in on what you want, what you desire, and keep moving forward. The other thing too is to keep your communications, your relationships, talking in a positive. And when you do not understand something or something isn't clear, get clarity on it. Because again, that miscommunication with Mercury in retrograde, that's going to happen till October 16th. So we got a whole almost month of this stuff. All right. So the rest of the month, though, I just want to say in summary, we're moving forward, but we're not really moving. So we are getting ready, we're getting prepared to move forward, but then we're actually not moving. Just be careful with your extreme thinking, though. Oh, I guess I had more notes. With your extreme thinking, because it's sort of like, when you get a thought, this for the end of the month, I think this is the last thing I'm going to say on this. When you start getting a thought in your head the rest of this month, stop yourself for a minute and make sure it is something of the positive light, because it's sort of like, I love the way the astrologer put it. He said, it's like lightning. Once lightning starts, you cannot stop it. And once it is spoken, it's done. So you have to be able to think before that lightning begins to strike. And you don't want to do the what ifs. Okay. A lot of the times, well, what if I do this? What ifs 9 times out of 10 don't happen. So you just have to go through with the motion, do the motion, be positive in everything that you do, because there is a huge conflict wanting to happen. You can stop it. Like the lightning, before the lightning starts, you got to stop it before. So lightning, where does it start? Right here. It starts here. It's sort of like when somebody gets road rage. They can think and be PO'd at the car or whatever. They're not going fast enough, or they didn't put a blinker on. Or let me tell you, Oklahomans, you guys don't put the blinkers on ever. I'm like, how can you guys drive down here? You're going 75, 80 miles an hour and you don't even put on a blinker. I'm like, oh my gosh. It was crazy down there. But the thing is, it's like that. Okay. So we want to be able to really think before we begin to ignite that lightning bolt. Because once that lightning bolt hits the ground, we don't know if it's going to start a fire. Once that fire starts, we don't know how big it's going to get and how far blown it's going to grow. You do not want to start something. You don't want to start drama. You don't want to start conflict. You don't want to start something that doesn't matter. If you cannot take it with you when you pass through this life and pass on, then you don't need to worry about it. I don't. On a spiritual side, we do not need to worry about things we cannot take with us. Why? Why are we fighting about something, and why are we on conflict with somebody that we cannot even take with us? I don't get it. Can't take money with you. I'm never going to fight about money. Never going to fight about money. You know, I earn my money. I make my money. I do whatever I need to do with my money. And if I'm in a couple, in a relationship, you know what? You have yours, I have mine, we have ours. It is a conjoined thing. And what we come in together with is what we come in together with. We leave together with it if we ever leave. I don't know. I'm not married. I'm not in a relationship. So I'm all alone, which is fine with me. Anyway, so let's get some readings on this. I do see a lot of positive energies, but I also see if it's going to affect cancers. I can see you guys really having trouble because you guys like to go to the negative side and you're very emotional and very sensitive. So just be knowing that it's not personal, especially if they don't say your name. It's like they'll say, well, if you talk to guys, well, women, I'm not, are you putting all women or women? So you better clarify with me because I am not all women. You know what I mean? Get clarity because a lot of the times, oh my gosh, um, that happens. I do have to say too, in this reading, we do have the third eye come up a lot. Now, I missed your readings last week and I deeply apologize. I'm going to make that up. Probably Wednesday is my first day off. So I probably will do readings quite a bit that day. So mark that on your calendar, live readings, pop in. I don't know if it'll be a collective, like I'll do like, a couple hours and do everybody's at once, or if I will come back and do them here and go. Just depends on how my week goes. But definitely the divine is talking about your third eye. Again, more spiritual, more looking deep inside, more your authentic you, looking at your relationship with him. When you are uncertain about something, you need to be asking him and going to him and making sure that you're getting confirmation on that, all right? Making sure that you are paying attention to um what your intuition is telling you, what your spirit is telling you, everything of that nature. This is the number 9 in numerology. This is number 1, foremost and up front. If you are not sure, do not ask the earth, do not ask world, do not ask people. Go to him because they're gonna they could give you the wrong answer, definitely. And the planets are just basically saying positive energy. This is great big love. This is what actually these two are all about. Divine and planets. Like I tell you it before, because we've got Divine's card, Planets card this time. And they're the same. They're the same energies. Okay. They're the very same energies. It's all about love. And that's what love is about. Okay. So let's do a real quick reading here. I don't even know what time frame I'm in. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So let's go. So you guys, I do deeply apologize. I love you guys so much. And you know what? All I could think about was how I'm not getting my reading in for this last week. And I feel so bad. But, life happens. And I appreciate everybody sticking through. I didn't lose too many. So I appreciate everybody sticking through and supporting me. Again, we've had the house for the carpet, then my computer completely died, and oh my gosh, the flights coming back were delayed. I was supposed to be back like at 8:30. I didn't get back till 1 o'clock. The President Biden was in Denver, messed up everything. Because when the president comes into an airport, you don't get to move at all. The whole airport shuts down. Nobody goes in, nobody goes out. And then the weather hit. So really crazy. All right, now this is going to be a reading with this full moon, and this is also for the next couple of weeks, all right? A lot of good things happening. Holy Toledo. So we have the King of Cups, and we have the Fool. Remember I said how this energy is going to be creative. This energy is going to be optimistic. It's going to be fun. It's going to be light. It's going to be really great. That's what the Fool is about, okay? The Fool is definitely about that. Very good energies, very positive, light energies. And the King of Cups is about what you want and you desire. It is definitely about the things that you desire. And here we got the Seven of Wands. This is that conflict energy again, standing up for what you believe in. This is about standing up for the authentic you. Okay, this is about what you want. This is about the Mercury energy and the energy. is about not getting frustrated that things aren't working out the way that they're supposed to, because this is about time is not going to be with the planet. I think it's was it Mars trines with Saturn? I think this is it's really a time where you things got to get organized, but somebody's going to feel like they're not moving fast enough. It's not supposed to move fast right now. It's not in your timing, it's in divine's timing. And this is where you're going to get frustrated, because some of you are going to say it's not going fast enough for me. I need it to go faster. And you just need to pull the curtains back and just sit down and wait for a while. Okay. Center card is the magician. Remember, I told you somebody is going to try and trick you, try to distract you, try to get you off a course. The magician's at the center, but then I'm surprised the devil's not at the center, to be honest. But we have the hangman there's next. And the hangman is about being insightful. The hangman is about really paying attention to what is happening around you, not thinking so much in the future, but thinking about the now, and understanding. Because again, this is the creative time where you're going to have a lot of opportunities. With the Seven of Cups, there's going to be something trying to trick you and get your focus off guard. Okay. So we really want to make sure that we're focused in on what we want to do, and make sure that we could keep continuing to do that. All right. Because you really have to know yourself and what you want, because it's sort of like if I've got $100 in my pocket and I'm saved it for, I don't know, maybe something leather like horse for bridle that cost me $100. And then somebody comes along and says, "Oh, this thing was on sale that you really, really wanted. And now it's on sale and it's $100. It's like you've wanted this for so long, but you've saved your butt to get this bridle or whatever it is, a game. How about a game for you guys? The games are like 60 and $100 now. I'm like, are you kidding me? I make my daughter pay for her own games anymore, because when they were $30, okay, but now they're getting to be like 60, $100. I don't think so. So that thing is that, oh, that game. But the thing is to stay focused on what your goal and what you're planted to for your goal, because that is a distraction. That is a trick. That is something that wants you to get off course. It's like when you have a bill to pay and something you want is over there, it's the same amount as the bill. You'll think, well, I can go ahead and save more for the bill here before it comes due. No, be responsible, be accountable for you as an adult to do what you're supposed to do. The need before the want, the goal before the distraction. Okay. Because that's what's going to be happening. Okay. And then your challenge world, or your challenge card, is the world. And the reason why it is that, again, this conflict, this inner conflict, this planetary conflict of creativeness, trying to get organized, and somebody's just fighting it. That they're just like, yeah, but okay. No, this is about the time to really see beyond what you see. Okay, this is about the time to really seek and go to divine and God and ask him, what is it that you want me to do? I've got this here, I got this, but I really want this. What is it that you want me to have? And wait, don't just, when you do impulse stuff, you regret it later. So don't do some impulse stuff. Think of now, but don't do it in impulse, because he will show you which way it is to go. Okay, a lot of good things here, but you're going to be tempted and pushed, especially with this Mercury energy. This Mercury energy is really wanting to, but you'll see victory. If you stay strong and obedient to your goals, your purpose, your calling, you're going to go, yes, glad I stuck with it. Glad I stayed with it. Glad I could do it. Glad I persevered. I didn't fall. I didn't give in. That kind of a thing. That's going to be a big energy, because then that is just saying that you love yourself. Okay. All right. I love that the King of Cups is the first one out and the Fool is next, because this is about your heart's desires. This is about what you want. This is about what you're dreaming of. And that is also in that is also on the 29th, the Sun trines Saturn and Venus trines Jupiter, or Neptune that day. So the dreams that work, the things that happen, the things that are coming true, things that you're trying to make happen. It takes work, but when you do it and you persevere, I'm going to talk about perseverance a lot in the future because that is a word. And I think I need to do a video on one because Divine is, I have had it up for months. And he's like, when are you going to do this? And I'm like, gosh, but now I have to. I have to. I have to. All right. Yes. We have the King of Swords, the Queen of Wands, definitely about communication, definitely about somebody also coming into a relationship, a good relationship. But there you again, you have to be vulnerable. You have to speak about the hard things. You have to talk about the hard things. You have to want to be vulnerable. When you're in a relationship, you need to be 200% honest with yourself, but also honest with person. Because how do they get to really know you? Again, for those, I've got somebody coming through definitely about dating. Really want to make sure that you really use that third eye in dating, that intuition that God has given you to say, you know what, this is really not, you'll get it right all of a sudden. You'll just say, this isn't really what I'm looking for. But then they'll start, keep talking, well, maybe, go with that first intuition. Excuse me. This is in reverse. We have the 10. So something is not ready to finish yet. So when we have the 10 of Swords in reverse, something is definitely not ready to finish. Are these upside down? Oop, I apologize. My cards are upside down, so that is. That's not fun. So we have the 10 of Swords. So something is going to come to an end, which we need to do. Again, we need to do. We need to do that in order to open another door. Again, we have this 7 of Wands. Conflict. Now, this could be your internal conflict wanting to change, or it could be this conflict that is trying to pull you and off track. Okay. That's this energy, but you need to have love in yourself. Give yourself love, be kind to people so that that doesn't happen. And also know your intuition. If you really go and really start paying attention to that second dimension, your life is going to change. That is spirit, that is God, that is divine. He is trying to help you, guide you, lift you up, work through it. I won't go into it right here, but one, and I'll share this in the announcement because I want to show you the power that the divine has, that if you are not having a relationship with him, and I don't think this is being an empath, I think this is everybody, as if you grow a relationship with him, you can see the puzzles of fall together. And I'll share that with a separate video with my announcements of this, because it's really been an amazing year and a half of not working in the corporate world, but working for my leather shop and other things and being abundantly blessed. And the thing is that I will share with you a story and a miracle. I guess I would call it a miracle, but to some it would be a miracle. To me, I just know divine. And because I trust in him and he's always, always, always come through. So I'll share that next time. But some of this will happen. And you have to allow yourself to let some new creative juices happen this month, the rest of the month. Allow some of this vulnerability to come out, these things that are you're afraid of that you've bottled up inside of you. I don't know who this is for, but you've got something bottled up that needs to release. If you don't have anybody to release it to, you're very welcome to email me. That's free. I don't do anything for money on this channel unless you go to my website and you want a really deep one-on-one, then we do. But otherwise, everything's usually for free. And anything, whether it be spiritual, whether it be empath, intuitive, your abilities, things of that nature, sexual abuse, coaching, just let me know. Okay. But this is going to be sort of a conflict time because you've got big opportunities coming. You have new things coming, creative things. You allow those juices to flow through because your challenge card is the world. Because if you allow that third eye to open and listen to the second dimension where God lies, divine lies, then you are actually going to open that door and have this. Because then you're going to be following your purpose and your calling, and you won't get distracted. You won't get distracted because you know when you're being pulled off course. All right. It's a really, I think it's something that you just develop because it's so easy to be pulled off course. And I even do this once in a blue moon. It's like, oh, you almost got me. Because even as we grow and they know us better and better, it's sort of like magicians. Once you learn a really easy trick and somebody says, oh, I figured how you did that out, they got to get to another level, a higher level, because somebody's always trying to figure it out. That's the low vibration. They're trying to figure you out to pull away from divine. That's the number one thing, especially when people get depressed. This energy here, the Mercury energy, could be happy. You get depressed. That is the low vibrations trying to get you and keep you there. Because if you're there, then you can't get close to divine. You can't trust in divine. You can't trust in God. You can't. So they'll keep you there to sometimes be very, very destructive to yourself. That is definitely a big spiritual war. You can email me. I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist. I am a coach, but I do know a lot about spiritual wars. A lot. All right. So I hope this was helpful, this full moon. A big full moon, guys. This is going to go through probably the first week of October because now we have the retrograde in there, Mercury retrograde. Bugger. I wish that the little guy would not do that. Some of you are going to feel like you need some fixing, you need to heal, that kind of a thing. This is a really good time to do that. Again, we have to investigate, dig deep, not talk about certain things, but that when we do talk about things, we can begin to heal. It's sort of like when I went through my sexual abuse healing. Yes, we can learn how to heal. We have to learn how to live with it. But the more I would talk about it, the more I would share, the more that I would understand the processes that I was going through, the healing that I was going through. It made a huge difference than just holding it inside, being fearful, not understanding why I did what I did, why I thought what I thought, those kind of things. This is the time to do this, especially with Mercury retrograde coming in. All right. I hope this was helpful for you. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please like if you've watched this far. If you watch any YouTube creator, likes are really important to our channels. And that helps get our videos spread out first. And so the least you could do is like, even if you watched it for a few minutes. So I appreciate that. And then get us to the 1,000 subscribers so I can do this anywhere that I want, but I cannot do it live if I'm on my phone. They won't let me do it live on my phone. I'm like, dang. So get us to 1,000 by the end of the year, and I'll be giving away 3 free readings, 30-minute readings, and three free 30-minute coachings when we hit 1,000. So, and when we get to that point, when we get to like 995, then I'm going to go ahead and make an announcement on how I'll do that. All right. Take care, you guys. I hope you have a great week. I will be doing your readings uploaded this week until Wednesday. And then Wednesday, I will do some live readings. All right. Take care, you guys. Have a great week. And wish me luck on my first day at work.